Hi guys, how are you doing? My name is Giovanna Casimiro, Brazilian and Italian artist. Yes, I have dual citizenship. And I am sending you this video because after you reached me out about my email, I thought it would be the right thing to do to explain my reasons and to be very open with you about my main research now. So now I'm doing my PhD in architecture and urbanism. This is technically the school I'm doing in University of São Paulo, which is a public university, one of the biggest in Latin America. And my research is about the city as museums interface through digital technology, researching the two or maybe three concepts that I consider extremely important in my research. One of them is the idea of open source heritage and how big services like Google, Facebook, Instagram, first of all, they're monopolies, and this we can't really fight against, right? They're controlling every data we produce every second. But how they're changing the way we build value, and we are being desensitized about construction of value collectively and individually. The way we understand linearity of construction of memory and values are being completely destroyed, not destroyed, but maybe the way they're bringing this to us make us less sensitive to the real value of things, places, connections, affections. But they're using these specific words to make us engaged in the production of memory and of course in the production of this heritage. So when I talk about open source heritage, it's more like trying to make the what people consider collective open heritage a real open heritage, which will be a neutral one, in which there's no desensitization. I don't know if this word exists in English, but in which I produce collectively for real the memories and the values in the city, in the places, the monuments, the real heritage I want for the future, and not an open heritage, collective, collaborative, shareable. Based on values, they are completely inserted, imposed unconsciously in my mind and my behavior. So this is one of the main concepts I'm trying to build, especially using examples of projects I have been part and some that I don't, of redesign the city with virtual reality, mixed reality, geolocation, geolocated content in general, trying to rebuild monuments or places that are considered heritage, try to understand how is the value and what is value and why this is so important for companies like Google. And then back in the days in my master's, I realized that Google was really investing a lot of money in the project of Google Cardboard, Google Arts project, and now is Google Arts and Culture that is the same, right? And Google Art Gallery. And then many other services that they built the Google Cultural Institute. So why to invest so much time and money in culture and arts? And that's my point. My research since 2013 has been tracking whatever these big companies are doing to approach and to change the way we understand collections and memories and affections and value. And this is so clear. Google Arts and Culture recently launched that plugin, whatever the service, in which you can have your selfie and your selfie can be compared with collections of art collections around the world, which is kind of put in the straight line the same thing. You are the collection and the collection is you, and the value of you and collection is the same. And suddenly we have the Museum of Selfie in California, in which selfies, they're becoming part of our collection. And then I'm just here bringing these topics first to evaluate how the values, they are changing completely. The second topic of my research now is the concept of capitalization of memory. How our memories and affections, and of course this construction of value, it is completely attached to capitalism. Like, it's not about being capitalist or socialist, because I think this duality of the word doesn't exist anymore the way it was before. And we still dragging our ideas into that perspective that I think is completely old-fashioned. But the point is, they're making our memory a product, and that's why we work for free, and that's why we're just Google local guides. You will get a lot of points if you give your information. Honestly, I'm giving every time wrong information just to cheat the system. So this place you can Do you have alcohol? Sure. Is a place for kids? Sure. So I'm just saying that the system is so failed. It can fail if people would not take that so seriously. But we are so engaged and we don't see that our values, they are being dissolved. And our memories are not ours anymore, are their memories, because everything I remember, I record, I catch somehow is going to their data. And I'm doing that because I want to get points to go to Google in San Francisco with my points of Google Local Guide. So this is very scary for me, and I don't understand how people don't see that. And the third idea is the outsourcing, memory outsourcing. So of course it is a linearity of way of thinking. So you have the heritage itself, how we build a value, and then we can see clearly the capitalization of memory, and then after that we can see clearly the process of outsourcing memory, which is the Google Local Guide system, in which I work for them for free. See, something that I learned, if they're not offering me anything, they're charging. Only maybe storage of data. Who is paying for that? I am paying for that. I'm paying with my data. I'm paying with my way of life, with my way of thinking. And then you can see so many addictions. I know a lot of people, and it's really hard to fight against the ego that they give to us. They give to us back such a good feeling of ego, of you're loved, if you're an idol, you have so many followers, you have so many likes, that even I am in the middle of this research, and sometimes I feel I have addiction to some social media. So when I told you that I really want to be part, is because I believe today we give a really, really high status to culture and art for some reason. And these companies, they know that. And they are approaching us this way because there was always a very silly idea about neutrality of cultural spaces, places, museums, which is not true at all. But most of people, they don't know that. And now more than ever, displays, they are completely submitted to big companies like Google. Do you think any museum has power now? They don't have curatorial, any evangelic power now. They are completely submitted. And my research is showing that now the museum has been dissolved already. We don't have museums anymore. Museums are just mediators, tools of this big company's system to track data, to understand people's behavior, to incentivize, engage people somehow. Now these dynamics are going to the city. The city is becoming a big museum open air. The city is becoming the place where we create value, we share things, we share experience, we share life. The city is the real museum. And that's, I think, maybe is the last stage, because we destroyed the cultural institutions in the way they were before. And that's fine, because I think that's the subversion. But then you were kind of saying, people, the museum is yours now. No, because everything belongs to a moderation of these big companies. So I'm just giving you a fragment of what I have been researching. And I really believe in what are you proposing. So in the last years, I have been doing different public art projects, including hacking objects to make interactive furnitures that explore the real affection, the physical social media of people touching each other, people knowing each other in a dynamic of knowing strangers and knowing the city in a way that no Google Local Guides can offer. At the same time, I have been doing other projects in which I try to subvert the political dynamic of the city, inserting graffitis with augmented reality, but maybe this is not so subversive. And I have been doing other projects using social media content, an amazing public intervention here in São Paulo called masp.etc.br that was a public video projection where we create like a database of images on Instagram, and then we reuse that to project in the same museum. We took all the pictures and we create all the content in some kind of cycle of the museum, feed the museum, that feed the museum, that feed people, that feed the museum and the system. And so kind of a never-ending cycle of musealization of all of us, of everywhere. And when you musealize everything, you can't remember anything. You can't remember nothing. I don't know, anything. So if you want to remember everything, you will forget everything. And I made part of another project called Memory of Amnesia in 2015. And I think this is another project that I would like. So I'm going to send you some projects that I have been doing recently. And what I desire, honestly, I want to be part of what you're doing. Can you give me a job? I want a job. Can you give me a chance? I want a chance. If you can, you give me, I don't know, collaboration, space to do an artistic residency for 2-3 months, for half a year, for a year, I want that. Honestly, I want anything you can give to me, because it's more than, see, I definitely want to work with you, but it's more than just money. It's not about money. Of course, if you can make me part of your team, I even applied for a job that you were offering to be assistant, management assistant. But more than that, I really want to be on the side. I believe I can really help you to understand all this dynamic of culture and submission, culture and surveillance and control, and how we can create new dynamics of humanized technology, and how we're going to build the future and the heritage of the future, and what is the importance to really know the creation of value, the process. Do not let that become another product they're taking away from us. So I really hope you can give me a chance somehow, and I hope this video can clarify a lot of things. So thank you so much. I am available for any conversation, negotiation, call, anything. And just for you to know, I'm doing my PhD in Brazil, but I'm always in US. So I'm kind of, because I'm doing some public art projects there, I have been in Europe last year, so I'm kind of here and there, so I could move, I could spend months there, I could find my way. Just let me be part, please. Thank you guys, and have a nice day. Bye.